Asanteni na karibu sana katika Let's Voice Podcast. Sahii tuko kwenye kitengo cha Get to Know You. Tuko na mgeni wetu, so Know Ms Esha.
Asante sana. Kwa majina naitwa Esha Mohamed, natoka Mombasa Kisauni. I'm an educator by profession and a social worker in practice. I run an organization by the name Her Narrative, where we support and would advocate for the rights of young women and girls within Mombasa County through various projects, both online and through our social media, both online and also physically through our activities. I also work with and for an organization called Swahili Port Hub on a project by the name Case Management, where we mentor young people in Mombasa County. So at a personal level, I'm a youth advocate, a youth champion with a balance for young women and girls.
Wow, that's nice. So tell us about the organization, Her Narrative, the idea behind it.
It started a while back na nakumbuka kwa sababu nimevolunteer kwa mashirika tofauti. Nimevolunteer kama katika shirika linaitwa Kenya Red Cross Mombasa. Nilivolunteer pia Swahili Port Hub, nilivolunteer and also kwa different CSOs kama trainer ama kama facilitator. Na kitu kimoja ambacho nimenotice kama mimi is the participation for young women and girls in the forums that I'm in is very limited, ni kidogo sana. Nakumbuka nikiwa Red Cross, nilikuwa vice chair and also I was later on became the first chair lady. And it was different for people because people don't expect young women and girls from Mombasa to actively participate in various forums, especially on issues human rights or on issues advocacy, na pia katika issues education. So mine was to ensure that tunaongeza participation ya young women and girls katika hizi spaces in whichever space that they want to be in, so that we can see an increase. Na pia niko bias kidogo na Waislamu wenzetu, especially watoto wa Kristiano wa Islam. Utaona tukienda katika forum huwa namba yao ni kidogo. Hilo lilikuwa tatizo kwangu. Kwa nini? Shida iko wapi? Kivipi? Ndio ikalead mpaka tukaform mimi na wenzangu wawili, tukaform organization inaitwa Her Narrative to champion for the rights and also for the participation of young women and girls within various spaces in Mombasa County and see an increase in them in such platforms and in such spaces. But also tunajua predominantly also or historically ya kwamba wasichana hawajitokezi sana katika mambo ya uongozi, na pia they do not participate yani katika conversations ambazo ni za jamii sana sana kushinda watoto wa kiume. So that is how we started the organization.
Okay. So did you always wanted to be a public figure?
It came naturally. Let me circle back nilivyokuwa primary. I am not an A student. I have never been an A student. I'm always an average student. Not saying that I don't want to be an A student, but I have never performed extraordinarily like like people that do, you get A's or B's, so I haven't. And so when I was in high school and even in primary, I felt a bit kidogo yani nyuma, and I used to feel really bad about it. So it demoralized my self-esteem to a point that I did not see myself fit. But that changed when I was in high school, because then I decided to go after the odds and vied. I vied as environmental prefect. I remember that was in form 2. And kwa nini nilifanya hivyo? Kwa sababu mimi ni vivu kidogo. Yeah, so ukiwa prefect ufanye kazi nyingi, so ndio there's that notion, ukiwa prefect uko na privilege ufanye kazi nyingi. So I vied, and then when I vied, I don't know, people liked me and I won. And then again I did my term. Nilipofika form 3, I vied again as a deputy head girl. Again I won. So it did a lot to my self-esteem, the aspect of winning. and the confidence that people had in me did so much wonders in my self-esteem. So after high school, in the university, I did not vie for any positions, but I was really interested on issues, humanity. How do we support people, community work? What can we add in the community? How can we make our community better? So pole, and I found myself as a public figure, and someone that I have seen people text me and asking how have I been able to get to where I want, and even I aspire. I'm not yet there, so bado sijakuwa public figure, but I believe in the small steps or big steps that I've been able to do so far. Yes.
They are not small steps, they are big steps.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
being a public figure and,
Yes.
and you aspire to be one,
Yes.
domina kona ni moja.
Yes.
So there are so many things that come across you,
Yeah.
either directly or indirectly,
Yeah.
to harm you or to diminish your
Yeah.
motivation.
Yeah.
Who is your support system?
Support system. It's true, especially kama nilibwambia why I started or why we started the organization. As a young woman, there are so many things that come to diminish my ambitions or where I am, and one is just the community itself. Unaambiwa Esha, unakimbia na muda. To me, you're supposed to be settling down by now, right? And their dreams, and not that you don't want, but then again utasikia kwamba wanaume wakikuona they feel a bit inaitwa nini huwa wanasema ati intimidated, na hali ya kuwa maybe you're very down to earth. So these are some of the limitations that young women do face through, and I am one of them. And then as a person of influence, you cannot just live without posting, and where we come from, it is not good to post. It is not haifai kupost. Na saa ingine si tuna post kwa sababu unataka kujionyesha, but you know that kuna watu wengine wakiona inawamotivate. So for me, my support system sana sana ni wazazi wangu. And nasema wazazi wangu kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu tumekuwa na story ndefu na wazazi wangu. Kutoka walikuwa hawapendi story za social work mpaka saa hii wako game. Unaona? So they support me until now that I have decided to go back to school to pursue my education, and they're okay with it. It's a big plus. And then other people are friends. I have good friends, alhamdulillah. Friends that will tell you, Esha, hii utapata. Hii ukifanya vizuri inakuwa smart. So one thing that mimi mwenyewe na advocate is, first is you have to know who you are. And then after you have known who you are and where you want to go, is get people that can support you. Now those are the friends and maybe family and people that they can be there when you're a bit down. But lastly, which is very important, are mentors. You cannot move without mentors. People that can guide you through your career path or whatever that you want to do. Are very much important. So I have several mentors depending or in various sectors. So I have a mentor, someone that I look up to in the leadership sector, which is a sector that I'm really interested in. I have a mentor on issues on the degree that I'm pursuing currently, someone that I can go to. I have a mentor in regards to issues, social media. So I have categories of mentors depending on an area of interest that I like in. So I think for me, that's a huge support system. And lastly, but also not the last thing or the last person, is God. I think God has done wonders in my life. And for me, each and every time that I feel a bit down or I feel like bado, I just go back to him and tell him, kindly redirect me, God. Maybe I am not yet there, or maybe I wanted this, but it's not coming through. Then redirect me to what you want me to have. So for me, those have been my key pillars as a support system.
That's nice. That's so powerful, by the way. So as a girl's advocate,
yes.
So what are the challenges gani ambao wasichana wanapata sahii katika society?
Challenges ni nyingi. Ngoja niombe kidogo. Unajua Mombasa County is one of the counties that wanna perform but do not perform really well in the KCSE. And if you look at statistics, and statistics don't lie, our dropout numbers are high. And even beyond our dropout numbers, most of our students do not get to go to the universities. And I think that is why the governor amefanya hii story ya kusaidia watu kwenda shule na walipia free. It's a huge problem. And in that, if you dissect and really go deep, you'd find that most of those people that actually don't proceed to the university or drop out are girls. So that is a huge challenge. For me, education is everything. As an educator, hawakutudanganya hivyo tukuambia kwamba education is the key to success. Because education opens you up. It doesn't mean that kwamba usiposoma ama watu wanasema lazima gani kusoma na kuna watu kama Diamond, lazima gani kusoma na kuna and they just look at people that maybe they went but they did not take it seriously as role models, and they start wanaanza kucompare, unaona. But education is everything, wallahi, asikwambie mtu. It opens your mind up. You start thinking differently. You see things differently. It is just how you view it. So that is the key thing. Our girls do not go to school as often or do drop out because of so many things. And could be issues ya kwamba hawana fee. Kwa sababu kwetu utasikia yani ukasome, uweza ukakaa ukaolewa. Mombasa inajulikana sana na early marriages as well. Wasichana wanaolewa katika umri mdogo. Umri mdogo sijasema miaka 10. Inaweza kuwa hata miaka 19 ama 18. That girl bado hajajijua yeye ni nani. They need to just take their time to get to know who they are. Another challenge is issues of gender-based violence. Wanawake wanapigwa kwa majumba yao lakini wamekaa wametulia. They're going through so much, and people are quiet. Themselves are quiet. Si eti wao ndo wanasema, pia wao wenyewe wamenyamaza because of the community that we are surrounded in. And I think another challenge is sahi imetokea ni kwamba kuna a lot of inaitwaje ile kuangaliana, wanawake wamefanywa ABCD, mbona sisi hatufanyiwi? Hiyo pia inaturegesha nyuma kama challenge, because then if you stand up as a girl advocate, una purwa mawe sana, unaambiwa kila siku wanawake, kila siku wanawake, kila siku wanawake. But if you go back to history, where we are from and how girls used to live then to now, we cannot keep quiet and say that eti tunyamaze sahi. I think maybe now we can do is how do we balance and support the boys as we support the girls. Yeah.
Well, sasa boy child hapo sawa,
boy child yuko sawa, tunamsaidia pia yeye.
So I've listened to you so much.
Yes.
I've get to know you so. So how do you empower yourself and empower those around you?
You cannot empower someone else if your cup is half full. I learned that, and I am getting to really understand it. You have to ensure that your cup is full before you pour it to someone else. So, and even I am reading a book currently around growth and our understanding of growth. And the author was giving us a scenario of birds. If we had 5 birds on a log, out of the 5 birds, 4 decided to fly. How many flew? 4 decided to fly. How many flew?
There are how many birds?
There were 5. And then 4 decided to fly. How many flew?
4.
4. You see? Yeah, so that is the notion that we have. Actually, none of them flew. They just decided. Yes, none of them flew. They just decided to fly, but doesn't mean that they flew. And that is growth. You see, in terms of ya kwamba saa ingine tunasema tutafanya. Nishasema nitafanya, lakini hujafanya. Sindio?
Okay.
Hujafanya na umesema tu, lakini kuifanya hujaifanya kiuhakika. Na wengi wetu tuko hapo. So for me is when I say that I'll do something, I ensure that I do it. I will do it. I said last year, and I told a number of my friends that I'll go back to school this year. I'm in school this year. So that is 1. 2, I get people that can support me. And most of the time we are told we need to get people who are maybe older than us, or not even older than us, but then maybe they have a better understanding compared to you in terms of a particular area. So I try to live with people that can help me grow as well, which is critical and important. The last one is going back to school so that you can be able to really understand what are the things you can unaweza jiendeleza nazo. Unajua si pale umesoma mpaka degree umeachia hapo ama diploma umeachia hapo. No, you need to go back to school. Go back to school and get extra information or get extra knowledge that can support you to grow in that particular field. And then pia saa ingine it is through other people's experiences. Unajua saa ingine unajisema ni mimi tu. The people that maybe have gone through the same thing, but you don't know because you don't want to look at other people's experiences. So go read what have other people who have been in your shoes done, then pick that up. Yeah.
So what I've learned from you is that you're a go-getter.
Yes, and I try. I'm a bit lazy, and I'm saying it here. People would maybe laugh. I sometimes I love, and something that I need to say is, you might look at people and say, "Oh, mtu anafanya kazi, anafanya kazi, anafanya kazi." No, you need to have self-time. Maybe I have my self-time. You need to get out and get a breather. It is not always about work and everything. So in as much as I'm a go-getter, I have some relaxation time. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I've seen you in a couple of locations. I've seen you with leaders and getting the experience. What are kind of the benefits that people miss, and what have you benefited from the experiences?
Mimi mwanzo tuseme tu alhamdulillah. When I decided to work into social work, trust me, I didn't know anyone. Because I remember even at Red Cross, because that is where I started. I started at Red Cross as a volunteer. And when I started at Red Cross, I had not been to Red Cross before. I did not know who is in Red Cross. I did not know anything around it. I just went and I decided, this is something that I really love. Let me try it out, right? And that has built me to be able to meet several people, because then I am one person that is very open-minded to a point. Sometimes I shock myself. Mtu saa ingine huwa anasema mtu akiniona saa ingine anaweza kunidharau. Very true. Akasema haunaye. But now when we sit and have a conversations, things a bit change. And I'm not saying this as pride or something. No, I'm saying it because I have seen people who look down upon me, either because of what I've won or because of how I speak. Sometimes mi napenda kupiga makelele sana, so they might remove me out of context and give their own judgment. So back to your question, I think it's important that you start networking and get to know various people within your sector and even outside your sector, especially for me that is very much interested in politics and leadership. I need to understand what's happening in Kenya, what's happening in the world, what are the key things that we need to look at, you see, such scenarios. So meeting the so-called big people that you have said has opened the doors for me, but I don't take them as big people per se. Because for me, I network with people that maybe align, or there's something that I want to learn from them. It takes time. And I remember we once were writing a curriculum and I shared my story. I said, I am one person that is I'm very poor in networking. I take time to have a conversation with person because maybe I pick, or I have to really understand how can I be able to support you, or how can I be able to add value in you. Sindio? So sometimes you might see a post, maybe hata labda alikuwa tujaongea. Not in a bad way, but hata ukitoka hapo ukienda kumuuliza anaweza kuwa hata labda hajanijua yule mtu, because you didn't have that conversation. So I say again, for those that maybe view other people's posts and like, huyu amekuwa na nani leo, amekuwa na nani leo, amekuwa na nani leo, please take time to digest. Eza kuwa hata there's nothing that happened. Kesho ukienda kumuuliza mtu hamjui. You see? So mine are a bit intentional, and even in posting, I try to pick people. Even tomorrow when you go and ask them, do you know so and so, they will say yes. So it opens opportunities for you, especially opportunities in learning, opportunities to travel, opportunities to gain grants, opportunities for scholarships, opportunities to be appointed. I did not say in my introduction, I was appointed as a board member in National Youth Council. Not because, again, I knew people. For me, I believe it's because of the work that I have done.
do you experience resistance when leading men?
I have, and I know where that question is coming from. I know. Yes, I have. I have experienced resistance. I have seen resistance, but to me, it's not resistance per se. I think our society has yet to accept the lack of a better word, has yet to accept how things are moving or where the future is going. And I say that with a lot of experience from the times that I have led various organizations or various spaces, and I have seen it. So I think the community is learning. So nisikue mkaidi sana. The community is learning and adapting towards female leadership in spaces and trying to support. And I believe that is why even you've called me here, and trying to support such leadership. But bado, we are not yet there. There's a lot that has to be done to see a change in it. And probably I think mine is to ask that when we look at leadership most of the time as women, we've always seen men leading. So we tend to adopt to the ways that men lead, right? And when I say that is there's a difference between a man and a woman. We are not the same. So a man is naturally born a leader. And because we have not seen women lead before, we look at how men lead. So when a woman gets that opportunity, they start leading the way a man leads from that point of view, because that is the only view that they have seen. And then it becomes sasa inakuwa challenge, kwa sababu sasa wanaume wanasema wewe mbona tutambia hivi, wewe mwanamke mzima unaongeaje hivi, kwa nini unafanya hivi, mbona inakuaje. So it raises a lot of things, but probably now with the change, if women now can lead as just women, maybe come they can just do it in their own way, and people can start adopting that, it becomes easier. So resistance ziko, but mimi I take them kawaida because I understand the community that I am in. Yeah.
Okay. Na kwanza kuuliza, how did you navigate through it?
I take them as I am because again, mwanamume atabaki kwa mwanamume na mimi siwezi kuanza kuargue. I will just say that leave, because I remember a day we had an argument, and I told someone to leave the space and they felt bad about it. And after that, they went into a group and started saying things. I just left the group. And mimi, my mental health is very important, and I will not feel bad about it, by the way. And we are still talking with that person, because then I understand, sometimes work has to be work, right? And game time is game time. Ndio maana pale nikasema sometimes wanaangalia wasema msichana, lakini time ya serious na kuwa serious na mtu anakasirika. Unaona sasa na kasirika sasa, mimi nikiona imezidi sana, I just leave, because not escaping, because people will take it as escaping. It is not escaping, but sometimes silence makes a lot of noise. Yes.
Silence is the best answer.
Yes.
So if you could go back in time to the younger you, what could be your advice to her? And what could you say to her?
I think even not my younger me, even my now me, I will tell her that just give yourself time. Bana, time. Just give yourself time and continue praying. Wallahi nisikwambie, lakini vitu vingi ambavyo mimi nimepitia, vingine vyao sikutarajia kama nitapata. Wallahi, akiamungu, and I'm saying it openly. Vitu vingine, and not because I'm saying even as kwamba I'm not putting in effort. I am putting in effort, but I never thought that it would be me. And I'm not saying here eti mtu akasema eti najiunderestimate. Sijiunderestimate, no. But where I was when I was in primary, and how I was feeling in primary, I never thought that I will turn out what I've turned out currently. And so I'll just say, and I'll tell myself, and my mother used to tell me, give yourself time, give yourself grace, take time to learn, be with people, get to know people, listen, and then opportunities will find you. But also, opportunities will only find you if you are ready to be found. That means is You need to prepare yourself for opportunities. Prepare yourself. Maybe I have ambitions for years to come. And currently, I'm preparing myself for those. So prepare yourself for those opportunities. Allah. Yes.
What do you do for fun?
Okay. Hey, for fun, mimi I love traveling bwana. Mimi sinywi pombe, siendi party, I just love a good place, a beautiful place with aesthetic. Yani, it just wows me. So mimi I love traveling. I love traveling a lot, a lot, a lot. Yani sahi hata sahi pia kama kuna mtu hapo sponsor anataka kunipeleka Dubai, siwezi kataa. Siwezi kataa, by the way. Yeah, so I think for me that's that. And then also beyond that is I find fun or happiness in community work. It just fulfills me to just give back and see people that are learning through me or with me or by me. I don't know, but I just find it fun to be in such spaces where I am learning or I'm engaging. Yeah.
Kukumbushe tu, there was a certain time that you said this quote,
Yes.
and it really stuck to my mind. And ukifanikiwa sasa kupiga nini
picha lazima I think it's wallahi and ndo pale nikasema sa ile ukipost unasema wewe ukipost lakini those are just memories for you. For me, when I grow old, when I have babies and when I'm married, I'm like Esha, I did this, I was here, I was there. Lakini kuna zingine si lazima, kuna zingine zile za private. And I remember one of my mentors once said we were somewhere, it was a very beautiful place and they were giving us good things and we wanted to take pictures, and he said no, the things that are for your eyes. Yes, and I picked that. So there are things that are for my eyes, but there are things that for everyone to see. So put that memory out there. You never know who you're inspiring, by the way. So I do take pictures. I take good pictures. Even my father knows. I know. Yes, babangu kidogo. Juzi nilikuwa babangu apiga picha. Walivyoniona tu, mpiga picha huyo hapa, njoo. So my father even knows. So I love keeping memories. I love keeping memories because then how do you come now share stories with people if you don't have evidence? Kuna watu walikuwa wamesema wameenda graduate na walikuwa wana picha bwana. Wamegraduate na wana picha. Wow.
So that's the bit fan of you that I've always known.
Yes.
So what is the one quote that keeps you moving and always be who you are?
For now, I think the quote that I have currently is that I really love. It's about me. Anything that I do, it has to be about me first. It has to be about me. What do I feel about it? And tukifanya self-discovery training, kuna nani watu tunasema, everyone has the valid desire to be seen and heard. But to you, everyone, say, I have the valid desire to be seen and heard. You personally. And for now, where I am currently is, hii kitu inanipendezea, naipenda, ina impact gani kwangu, inanisaidiaje, kwa nini nafanya, baada yake, alafu kama inaweza jibu maswali ya how. Unaona nani anaitwa ni speaker juzi anamwambia Gashagwa, the how, where are you speaking, how are you speaking it, to who are you speaking. Now ask yourself those questions. If you can respond to those questions clearly, vizuri, then you're good to go. Hata iweje, are you okay with it? If you can clearly say, yes, Esha, I'm okay with it, please do it. So for me today is, are you okay with it? Are you okay with what you're doing? Are you really okay?
So what is the advice that you give to the young ladies that are out there?
My people, my circle of people. Yeah. Life's rahisi. It is not easy. No. Jokes. But it is true. It is jokes, but it is true. But I think what I will tell them is own your space, whichever space that is, own it. Own it. Don't let anyone tell your story. Tell your own story. Tell it the way you want it to be told. Chimamanda said there's a danger in a single story. If you've ever heard of that quote, please look for it. There's a whole big danger. So tell your story, own your space, own it to the latter, own it to the latter. And again, as I said in my quote, are you okay with whatever that you're doing? If you can answer that and you're owning it, then that's it for you, girl. Hakuna kitu chingine zaidi isipokuwa Mwenyezi Mungu labda akatae. Mwenyezi Mungu akisema haiwezekani hapo, lakini naye Mwenyezi Mungu ukimwomba anasema mkiniomba atakupa. So please, and I'm saying this why, because most of the girls hawana hope, na wanaona kwamba mimi sifai kufanya hivi ama naweza kuambiwa hivi kawa hivi. Yani there are so many little things but to them are big, ambazo zinafanya wasiweze kuprogress from one stage to the other. And it is not a good thing. It is not a good sight to see. You see a lady mwenye unamuona kabisa huyo ako na ambition, huwa anaweza kufanikiwa, and then all of a sudden unaona amepotea bwana, washtuka. Okay, what happened? You see? Yeah, so I'm saying it again. Please own your story, own your space, and ensure in whatever that you're doing it to your best.
Haya, karibu tena.
Thank you.
Umesafiri sana, you've traveled a lot. Hebu tuambie, how has it shaped you? Maybe from the perspective ya Mombasa, mtu kuishi hapa, do you feel kuna change fulani imekufanya wewe, umeona nini ambao kimekubadilisha wewe mindset yako?
Traveling is the most beautiful thing. I think everyone should travel. It is the most beautiful thing. And I remember mimi nilipomaliza university, I told my father mimi nataka passport. So nilimwambia tu mimi nataka passport. And I paid for my own passport, I remember. Nataka passport. Watakwenda wapi? Nikamwambia mimi sijui natakwenda wapi, lakini passport naitaka. So I went, I applied for my passport, I got my passport. I didn't know where I'm going, nitaenda wapi. And then my first trip I remember was to go to Ghana. Lakini sasa watu wengi ambao wamekaa na mimi nishaye kuelezea story yangu ya Ghana ambao haikuweza na nikakasirika, nikasikia vibaya. And then immediately the same year I got now my first original trip, which was now to go to the US for 3 months. I applied for a fellowship, an exchange program by the US State Department called CEE, and that was in 2022. After the application, kama nilivyoambia mimi Mwenyezi Mungu anibariki tu, alhamdulillah, I got it. I didn't know anyone, but I got it, and I went to the US for 3 months. And in the US, I saw so many things, but I think one thing that I have learned is that there are so many things to learn outside in the other world. There are so many things for you to gain to understand, na pia we mwenyewe kuona utofauti. Na utofauti huko pia kiculture, the way we think, and even in the way we look at things. Unaona mtu mwingine nikichora 6 ataona tu 6, lakini kwa mtu mwingine ataona 9, si ndio? Yes. So I think that is what traveling has done for me. It has shaped my mind. It has with various opportunities, because I've met people through traveling that have connected me with other opportunities. It has enabled me to meet new people that have supported my work, people that I have personally engaged in, and it has grown my base as a person. And I think the latest one that I have done, which was through a person that I met in my previous trip, was in Italy. So this is what happened. I had sit in the Girls and Young Women Advisory for project she leads, that is run by the Ministry of Netherlands. So we had gone to Netherlands, and when we went to Netherlands, I met a young lady from Mali. And through that, she said there's another opportunity for us to travel. And she sent me a link for an opportunity to go to for a conference on women issues and come up with a statement that can be shared to the G7 countries. So it was called Women 7. So hapo sasa nika apply na nikapata na nikaenda Italy. So you see that what traveling also does. Through another travel that I was able to go to another opportunity that I had not anticipated. And that is why I usually advocate kijana kama uko hapo huna passport. Maybe sahi uwezaona huna safari, lakini safari zitakuja ushangaa.
So umevolunteer sana.
Yes, I have volunteered.
A lot. Siku hizi vijana kuna kazi na wako nyumbani, so wanatarajia pengine kuapply kazi. And in my experience si rahisi kufaulu hivyo kwa sababu utapata hiyo nafasi unless utoke nje. Hebu tell us, how has volunteering shaped you? How has it made you grow? Na maybe pengine ungekuwa nyumbani sahii ukitarajia kufanya kazi, because understand you are a teacher. Mwalimu, maisha ya mwalimu na maisha yako tofauti sana. Maana walimu hawasafiri ovyo ovyo unless wako darasani nini, si rahisi unless you are not teaching this Kenyan system.
Yes.
So tell us about volunteering. Hilo la walimu nitakuuliza vizuri.
I did education kama nilivyoambia mwanzo, but I'm not practicing it. I created something that I'm very passionate about na ndio inanilipa pesa. And it started through volunteering. Kikwetu tunasema volunteer, si kikwetu lakini vijana wengi tunasema volunteer ni kutulika. Lakini labda niongezee tu unatumika to what extent, na ukitumika wewe unapata nini by the end of that kutumika. Kwa sababu it's not an easy thing to volunteer where you're in a space where you're not paid and you perform as if you're being paid. It's not an easy thing, but it shapes you. It shapes you to be to have just a different view of people. 1, 2. Break tumejibisia kidogo tukasema tutakuja na isema hapa ndo tuenao mjadala wa volunteering in Mombasa, how it is. But I remember everything that I have done is because of volunteering. The people I have met have given me opportunities, have supported me in one thing or the other. The friends I have to date are the friends that I volunteered with. Kuna wale marafiki wa shule na kuna wale marafiki ambao tunaanza nao chini. Ndio hao sasa that I have now. So volunteering is a good thing, but probably I'd urge organization is to just find a favorable way in which young people can volunteer in the institutions, because then you realize vijana wengi wanakwenda but because the place is not favorable and it's a waste in the in that particular space. So we need to see how now do we continue to build the momentum and the energy and the zeal for our young people to just volunteer in good faith. And something that I learned from a travel, and give an example, in the US, volunteering emergency ya vijana wengi sana wanaovolunteer ni watu wazima ama mtu mwenye pesa zake, kwa sababu in the essence volunteering imewekwa kwamba ni kwamba wewe umeridhika, yani uko sawa, so unaenda kupeana muda wako bure, unasaidiana bure, yani kila kitu, yani that was the essence of volunteering. But now huku kwetu imeshift kidogo, ni kwa vijana as they continue to look, kwa sababu kweli opportunities hazipatikani. Yeah.
You are very eloquent both in Kiswahili and English.
Thank you.
Ushafikiria kuandika? And maybe
writing is
about
where
your
I draw
life.
the line.
About your life, maybe kuandika tamthilia, any stories about maybe your experiences. Ushafikiria kuandika?
Imagine mimi napenda kuongea, kuandika ndo sijui. I find it a challenge. I find it a big challenge.
Unajua kuna kuandika na maybe publishing your own stories.
Oh, publishing my own stories.
So
No,
it's both sides of writing.
Oh, it's both sides of writing. I thought it was just like writing or scribble things. I do write kidogo lakini, but it is not something that I have pushed further with it. About to think, oh, I want to write ABCD. No. But maybe years to come. Nikifanya PhD ama nikianza nikiprogress, I will do that. Because again, pale nimezungumzia kuhusu sharing our own stories. Writing is one way of doing that. Beyond capturing moments, there's writing. When someone go through, like I read a book by C.S. Nadia. She really wrote something that struck me. That is where I realized kumbe si pia average student tunaweza kuwa watu wazito. Yes, because she said she's an average student. You see, so sometimes you might think you're writing for yourself. Kumbe you're writing for a larger group, for people that maybe have been through the same experience or they are going through kind of the same similarities. So now that you've told me, I might think about it. But lastly, because I speak a lot, is I think last year I said this year it is important that I journal. So this year I started journaling. That I have taken into consideration, and I'm very consistent about journaling. And I'm not just journaling, I am journaling the thing that I appreciate. Siandiki tu sijui kila kitu, no. And I saw it online where you each week think about the things that you appreciate for that particular week and write about them. Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Alafu kuna hili swali. Kuna hili swali la education.
Yes.
Especially education. As a person wewe kusomea ualimu, there is that you pengine ni perspective yangu na kuona hivyo.
Not that.
You look like maybe you're good in science or English or language.
Yes.
Which was your best language or art or science?
Mimi science, no. Language, please. Science, no. Language, please. Yes. And actually, I'm a teacher of English and literature. I love... Na kidogo tena nirudi kwa story. Nilipokuwa primary, I used to have this teacher, mwalimu wa English ambaye, alikuwa hani motivate. Mimi nilikuwa napata ma-zeros kwa compositions. And then tulipokuwa tunamalizia, na alikuwa akitupiga sana. Mimi nilikuwa napigwa sana. But tulipokuwa class 8 before tufanye exam, that teacher alitoka, tukapata mwalimu mwingine wa English. That was the first time alivonimakia composition yangu, nilipata 20 out of 30. It was the most, nakumbuka paka leo, it was the most happiest moment. And towards now nilikuwa school I got a good English. So English became one of my favorite subjects. Kati ya wale watu walikuwa wakiambiwa darasani, nani atakusoma? Watu wa Grusha Vashnaze. So I love, and that's why today I love reading. I read books because I found myself immersed in language. And even when I was speaking the subject to teach, it was either Kiswahili IRE or English and literature, and outrightly I told my mother English and literature because napenda sana. It's in me, especially stories, plays, reading, 100%.
How do you manage to stay humble? How do I stay humble? How do you stay humble?
I think mimi kwetu nilikokulia, sijakuliwa mazingira ya na sijasema kwamba rich people are not humble, but sijakuliwa maisha makubwa sana. And sometimes I think one thing is for me is I really think, is it really me or people are just saying? So najiuliza maswali mengi kabla mtu aje anipe sijui ani wow, sijui uko hivi, mbona, yani najiuliza ile mbona. Ndio maana pale nikasema are you okay? Are you okay? And mimi I'd want to live my own life. Utaniona napanda matatu, tuk. So yani I'm just normal in my own way. And hivyo tu yani naturally, because I believe there's so much for me. So much for me in this world. So if I'm not humble, I'll not be able to achieve them. There is so much. And I remember my mentor wasema huyu Esha waza watu wakabuli. I am like that. Like I said, haimaanishi waza kunibuli kwa sababu nina mdomo. But yani I sometimes just find a way to just know how to balance when, how to speak and all that. Si vizuri kutokuwa humble bwana. Mngeniita kweli hapa kama siko humble.
No. So how do you say no without feeling guilty?
Oh, how do I say no without feeling guilty? I think for me, what I have done is, if it is okay, again to my face, I look, is it this thing okay with me? If it is not okay with me, nitakwambia tu jamani mimi siwezi. But I find it hard, sincerely speaking, to say no without feeling guilty. I usually find it hard at a personal level. I usually try to, I'm a giver. I give a lot. I usually try to find areas to support you beyond me saying no. I'll give you an example. Kuna mtu ashai kuniambia, Esha njoo mahali fulani, kuna hivi na hivi na hivi nataka tufanye. Nikamwambia, mimi siwezi, but I can get you someone. So I add, so that you're like, lakini yeye ameshindwa lakini ameweza kuniletea. Because I usually feel guilty because hujui mtu amekupangia nini. So labda kama nimeshindwa na njia ya kukusaidia, nitakwambia tu mimi siwezi, can we reschedule? Or kama basi yaningi, kama iningi sana nitakwambia tu basi mimi siwezi ama siko. But it is a hard thing. Wewe waweza kusema no without feeling guilty.
Yeah. So if things that don't align with you.
Yes, I have. It is bad. I cried. It is bad. You know, people are different. Ojo wenye mazungumza. It is different. It is different. Kimimi at a personal level, I'll feel guilty. Wallahi, I'll feel guilty. I'll feel bad. Hata kama labda sitakwambia, I'll still feel bad. Mbona nimemwambia? Not unless yani nimeshindwa kabisa kukusaidia. Sasa lakini nimejaribu. Yani yangu unaona nitaongeza lakini nimejaribu. Siwezi. Yani wasema kabisa no. Ngoja wasema kabisa no.
You know, I asked that question.
Why?
Sababu in katika ku-interact na wewe, you are a very straightforward person.
Yes.
I find you that way.
Yes, yes.
I find you straightforward and you're very strict in your words.
Yes.
Au pengine ushai mtu pengine mtu kukasirikia au mtu kuwa na perspective kuwa kushinda paka kuapproach maybe because maybe you rarely smile or you are strict. Has it ever happened to you?
Yes. Mimi nishafanya hivyo mara nyingi sana. Na imagine hata wewe umekaa hapa na mimi niko strict. Ni vile tu time ya kazi ni time ya kazi. Unajua time ya kazi siwezi kukutolea meno. Eti no. Hapo tutafanya kazi. Na hata ukiniambia sijui nini na nini, mimi I will not listen twice. Not unless maybe it's something really critical that really needs a, if it doesn't really matter, sincerely speaking. So I am not I'm very straightforward, ndo siwezi kubadilisha msimamo wangu, especially msimamo wangu hauna yale matunda ambayo nilikuwa natarajia. Nabadilisha hapo na nabadilisha. Na kuhusu watu kufeel hivyo, yes, nishaambiwa, nishasikia, I have done that, and what I do is I approach them. Nawaambia tu, nimesikia A, B, C, D, and E. What are your thoughts on the same? How do you feel? Are you okay with that? I'm one person that if I've had something and I can come to you and ask, I will come to you and ask, as long as it is related to me. And it is just recently. I had a friend that we were not on the same page. A good friend, very close to me, and we were not on the same page. And alikuwa amekasirika. So we had our other friend ambaye alikuja akasema mtu fulani amekasirika Esha, amesema A, B, C, D, and E. I'm like, mbona hajakuja kunifuata? So you know what I did the next day? Nikamfuata. Nikamwambia nimesikia A, B, C, D. What are your thoughts around it? This is how I felt. I am sorry if it made you feel this and this way, because mimi nitakwambia tu kwa uzuri and will not have an argument. So that is how it is. I think people judge they look at people depending on how they've seen them or in the places that they've interacted with them. So they form a perception. So kama tumeinteract na wewe tukiwa kazini, you'll have a different perception of me. Kama tumeinteract na wewe tukiwa nje, you'll have a different perception of me. Kama tumeinteract na wewe mahali tofauti, you'll have a very, very different perception of me. So I think that is where kuna hiyo gray area. Tumeinteract na wewe tukiwa wapi, ama umeniona nikiwa wapi na nikiwa na nini. Context matters. But I am very open to conversation. I'm very open to listen. I'm very open to change my mind if I see it fit to do so.
So Izia,
Yes.
mashallah, you describe your answers. You really define them.
Yes.
So hebu tupe shout out. Yeah, maybe where tutakupata wapi?
Social media. Social media everywhere, please. Follow my pages. I don't they've been stagnant. I don't think I need to get me a social media manager. Shout out to my social media manager. Please come through. Lakini on a serious note now. Social media Esha Mohamed. Walikuwa na jina lao nililichange. Esha Mohamed, Instagram Esha Mohamed, Facebook X Esha Mohamed, TikTok Esha Mohamed, kila mahali Esha Mohamed. I'll follow back, let's link up. Na kama pia waona wahali kwingine wapeweza kunitafuta Swahili Pod. You'll get me a Swahili Pod hub katika spaces za youth issues, girls, you kosa sana Red Cross, unaweza kunitafuta. Let's link up, let's have a conversation, and you never know where these conversations will lead us to. Maybe even my husband is watching.